It's a brutal Monday morning. It's currently negative 15 degrees right now and snowing so damn much. And these are the conditions I walk in every single morning to get to my office. It's like a 35-minute walk, and I would complain, but then I remember that A, the job market is absolutely cooked right now, so the fact that I even get to walk to the office is such a blessing. And B, in the summer, I'm gonna have to commute like an hour every day just to get to my office for Amazon. Anyways, today's gonna be an incredibly busy day. There's gonna be so much coding. Let me show you what a day in the life looks like as a 21-year-old software engineer who's also building a tech startup. Okay, we finally made it into the office. Sometimes I joke that I don't even need my morning cup of coffee because it's so cold and the walks over here just wakes me up. But before I do literally any work, and I take advantage of the free breakfast and snacks. Sometimes the free food is reason enough to come into the office, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, I'm gonna get into some coding now. I'll get back to you in like an hour. Okay, I just realized you might be wondering what the hell I'm actually doing and what my job is. So I'm a backend engineering intern at Autodesk. I primarily work with Java and Spring Boot on all the server and security type stuff. And then every once in a while, I also work with TypeScript on the client side SDKs. But the funny thing is only like half my job is coding. The other half is meetings, like the daily meeting I'm about to attend right now, where I have to tell them everything I did yesterday and what I'm gonna do today. Let's jump straight into that. So on Friday, I made a few related to because I then worked a bit with just going through some of the, and then I'm going to move on to the models. Okay, so I've been working for the last 3 hours or so, and I realized you might be wondering, what in the world do software engineers actually do? I've been working as a big tech intern for a couple weeks now, and I finally understand it, besides enjoying all the free perks like the free food. Okay, so most software engineering companies break down their work into something called a sprint, which is usually around 2 weeks long, and it's a time frame you have to complete all of your tasks. Each of these tasks is then broken down into something further called a ticket. These tasks are where you actually write code, and it's usually like adding a new feature, or even worse, fixing a bug in your code. And a bug is like when there's a known issue that needs to be solved, or sometimes not even known. For example, let me show you the current ticket that I got assigned to that I'm working on, which is adding a rate limiter to some of our processors. Okay, so the idea is to use this Resilience 4J rate limiter. And the idea is we basically just want to have our servers not be overloaded. So this rate limiter that I'm going to build will make sure only a certain amount of requests can be processed at a time. So a lot of my job is just reading on this documentation to teach myself about this new feature before going ahead and implementing it into our code base. And now I'm almost done writing the code, and it works locally on my own computer. So I'm going to open something called a pull request. This is where other people on my team can review my code, leave any comments or suggestions on what to edit, and once it's approved, it can then get merged into production. And production is what actually gets released to clients. So there's usually this long process before that ever happens. Now, besides that, like you saw this morning, you have a lot of meetings. You talk about stuff like the design process, the best way to tackle an issue, stuff like that. And honestly, on a good day, these meetings take up at least 3 hours of your work time. I hope that answers that question because you honestly never really taught this as a CS major. Anyways, I'm so hungry. I got stuck in my code. It's now 1:30 p.m., so I'm gonna take a late lunch break. Let's go get some food. So now that I'm taking my lunch break, I could show you guys the game room, which is absolutely crazy. First, they have this little like air table hockey thing. It's so cool. Then you have this automatic Pong machine. Just look at it go. You have your classic little foosball table. They also got this Pac-Man machine. And then my favorite, they have all of these different consoles, and then including this virtual reality headset. Now, as cool as this looks, it feels like this room is a trap because you're allowed to come here to de-stress and everything. And it's actually encouraged by Autodesk, but like all of my employers and my boss can see that I'm in here and not working. So it's kind of funny. I can't say I come in here too frequently, but it's really cool that they offer something like this. Anyways, we're not gonna be playing anything today. Let's just go get some food.
The one thing I love about Montreal is the ability to walk anywhere. Like I'm about to show you this really cool Italian sandwich place I go to all the time. That's literally a 6-minute walk from my office. It's worth braving the awful Canadian winter even. It being almost April and it's still negative 15, and look at all the snow is absolutely insane, by the way. Don't come to Canada. Hi. Can I have a sopressata, please? Thank you so much. Have a good day. Thank you. The goods are secured. While I'm eating my lunch, let me tell you how I actually got this job. When I tell you learning to code in Java and Spring Boot got me my internships at both Amazon and Autodesk, I'm not lying. I personally learned in university Java and then followed up by watching this tutorial course by programming with Mosh on YouTube. But the important thing for backend development is Spring Boot. It's so in demand. I self-taught myself by watching Amigos code on YouTube, building out one of his coding projects, which is this React.js and AWS one. And that way I did something called project-based learning, which is the only way you'll ever learn how to code. To get good at coding, you have to actually code something. And on top of Spring Boot, React.js and especially AWS are extremely in demand, so it makes you stand out in the recruitment process. Now after that, I built out my own coding projects. The first was this Miguel exam scheduler. It's very simple. You just go and search for your exam, and then you could add it to your calendar and then export it directly to your Google Calendar or Apple Calendar. But this got 1,700 users, so then when I talked about that in my interview, not only was I using the exact tech stack that was required on this job, but I built something that was actually good quality code enough to be used by thousands of people. Now the second is my startup Empor, which is Canada's first secondhand good marketplace exclusive to university students. I built almost this entire thing by myself. We've raised a couple $1,000s in investment already. We have thousands of people showing interest. And when I talked about how I was the CTO of the startup, it showed a self-starter mentality and an entrepreneurial mindset, which really impressed all the recruiters, especially at Amazon. So if you take one thing away from this, if you're struggling to get hired, build a coding project with a user base. If anything, you could even think about it as don't build your coding projects like a to-do list. Build it like a startup. Think of a problem that needs solving and address that. Because best case, you don't even need a job. You have your own company to run. And worst case, you have something that's actually impressive on your resume. You could talk about in interviews and you could get that job you're looking for. Anyways, it's time to get back to coding.
Alright, it's 5:30 p.m. That means my workday is done. But that does not mean I'm done working for the day. First, I'm editing together the video I'm going to post today on Instagram and TikTok. I post every single day, and more often than not, I'm squeezing in the editing after work like this. I would be surprised that I haven't print out yet, to be honest, but you guys keep me motivated, so thank you. Alright, half an hour later, I'm done editing, and it's up on my social media. Now my brain is so fried, I need to just give myself a little bit of a break. So what I'm going to do is head to the gym for the next 2 hours. This helps me stay productive so much, especially when I have a routine. Let's get straight into it. That was a crazy good workout, especially when I'm sitting like 16 hours at a desk every single day. Working out is a non-negotiable for me. Not only does it help reset my mind, but I'm a firm believer that a healthy body is a healthy mind, and that's why I'm able to stay so productive some days. And besides, going to the gym is exactly like learning to code. You don't get better after 1 day, 1 week, or even 1 month. It takes almost years and years of dedication, showing up every single day to see the results that you're after. Anyways, I'm gonna shower, go home now. It's time to start working on the startup. I'm actually excited. Let's get straight to it. All right, I'm back in my dorm room, and it's time to get coding on the startup again. Right now, the mobile app is almost ready for release, and what we're gonna work on is this like Tinder feature, and the idea is to cater to this new like brain rotty trend. So users can just swipe left or right if they like or don't like a listing. If they like it, it'll add it to their cart. Otherwise, it doesn't get shown to them again. And that way, people can mass go through all of the possible listings near them. So not only would people do it out of sheer curiosity and like boredom, like how many times you just doom scroll on an app, but it will also dramatically increase our actual purchases and successful transactions because people are going to be exposed to all of these new items that they didn't know about before. So I'm going to lock into that. Let's see how good vibe coding is, because I'm going to trust GPT to do all of this. Okay, after like 3 hours of coding, I'm finally done. Let me show you how sick this is. Okay, so on this new Discover tab, you just have this little text that says swipe for deals your wallet will love. And then let's say I don't like this, I swipe left, I don't like that. Oh, but I do like this desk mirror, so I want to love it. And it automatically adds it to my cart. Then I can continue swiping. Say I want to check out my cart, then loads my cart, and I could go buy stuff inside directly the app. This is going to be a game-changing feature. I got so excited coding it, I forgot to eat. It's now 12:30 a.m. I'm gonna go have some dinner and call it a day. After all, I gotta do this all over again tomorrow. I'll see you in the next one.